Okay, good morning friends. Today we are going to discuss some industrial engineering topic relevant to CAD/CAM also, MRP and MRP II. So that is called as Material Requirement Planning and Manufacturing Resource Planning. Both are interrelevant, and for both these content, that MRP and MRP II, we need so many sub-modules or sub-factors we have to consider. So what is mean by MRP, Material Requirement Planning, and also what is mean by MRP II, that we are going to discuss in this class. So first we will discuss about the Material Requirement Planning. Suppose if you want to manufacture or if you want to produce something, the raw material is very much important. Okay, so it depends on the demand what you have, or the demand level, or how much products that you have to manufacture. Depends on that, you have to plan to procure the components. Okay, so that is called as the inventory management. Okay, suppose you need or you have to produce 1,000 component in a month. So for the 1,000 component, you should be having the raw material well in advance. For example, 2 days or 3 days before it should be ready. Suppose you have 1,000 components in your hand, that is order. You have the raw material only 1,000 components. In that case, what you have to do, you should not make any error the component. That is, there should not be any error, or there should not be any faulty material in that. Okay, in your product. So 0% defects you have to obtain. Assuming 10% or assuming some 1% defect has been produced in that industry. Suppose for 1,000 component, 10 is in that is defective product. So that is you can't create that 10 component is will be reduced in your final output. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to plan the material, the required material excess. Okay, to manufacture not only the 1,000 component, and more than that you should be having in your hand. Suppose if the demand level is suddenly increased, you should be able to make that component also. So suppose you have a component, 1,000 components you have to manufacture in a month. Suddenly 1 day after or 2 days after, the demand level is increased to 2,500. So in that case, you can't plan, or you can't create, or you can't give the order. It takes some process or procedure in a big industry, so it takes some time. So you have to keep some component in your storage. Okay, so that you have to plan. So how you can plan? So that is called as a MRP and also MRP II. In olden days, the MRP and also MRP II was done by using a manual calculations and also in a paperwork. Okay, we have to calculate everything. What are all the materials, the quantity of materials required, that how much we have in our stock, okay, how much we have to procure, everything. So in later stage, the software was introduced, and by using that software module, the material requirement and also the resource planning, everything was done by using computer. So how the software module was successfully implemented to calculate or to make the material requirement planning. Okay, so and what are all the sub modules that are available, that we are going to discuss. So simply says MRP gives the it is used as to create a detailed process planning and to control the inventory in the raw material or in the materials that are required to make that particular component, to control that inventory system, and also to both these things are required to control the manufacturing operations. Okay, so first we have to control the production planning, and also we have to control the inventory management, that is raw material required for that particular component. Okay, so what are all the objectives of this MRP? Why we need to calculate the material requirement planning? Suppose you have a less demand, but that is not in a constant manner. So this month only we have 1,000 component. So next month we have we may not have that much level. So that is uncertainty is there. So no need to use this kind of requirement planning. Okay. Suppose you have a constant and also the demand level is keeps on increasing. So definitely you have to plan well in advance to procure all the raw materials that are required. So the material plays a vital role here. So you have to plan well in advance so that you can meet the demand, or you can give the product to the customer at the right time. Okay, so that only we can assure to the customers. Okay, so what are all the objectives of MRP? So it ensures the availability of the material. Suppose in market we don't have the material, or the material we have to import from abroad. It takes some time. Okay, 15 days or 20 days. It depends on the availability of the resources, availability of the transportations. It takes a long time. Okay, so according to your plan, according to the material available, you have to start the process. So the material requirement planning gives when you have to order, how much you have to order, okay, and also when you have to stop. So these things you can have a clear idea and you can start your process. Okay, so it ensures the material availability, and also it ensures the products that are available for, that are ready for giving to customer. Okay, made it available. So we have to made it available. If the raw material is available, then only we can make the component. Whatever the resources available with us, we have to finish that component, and we can make it available to the customers. And also it maintains the lowest possible material. Okay, and also the product level in stores. Suppose we need to produce 1000 components. If we are having 10,000 components, the raw material for 10,000 components, that is unnecessary. Okay, so how much we need, and also what will be the availability of the resources, how long it will take. So based on that, we have to keep some lowest level of material. Okay, so excess is unnecessary. So unnecessarily wasting our time and also procuring everything, we are wasting our resources. So that is not required. So to maintain that lowest possible inventory, we have to make by using this MRP. Okay, and also we have to plan the activities, manufacturing process or manufacturing activities. What are all the activities that we have to make to complete that product? Okay, and also delivery schedules, when we have to give it to the customer. Okay, according to the customer requirement, and also when we have to start the purchasing activities. So these ideas can get from the MRP schedule. Okay, it gives when you have to complete the product. To complete the product, how much material you require. For that material, when you have to order. Okay, purchase process, when you have to start. So these details will be given by the MRP. Okay, so the history is starts from 1964. The MRP. So initially the MRP was done manually. So we have to do some manual calculation. So based on that, the requirement planning was done. Okay, to plan that, enormous manpower was used during those time. So stage by stage, when the industry was growing, so while planning or procuring material itself, they were wasting manpower for material planning only. Okay, so they have to develop, or they need detailed software to plan the MRP. Okay, to plan the materials that are required to complete it. So that they invented this MRP software. So in 1964, Joseph Orlicki, they invented one software module called MRP for Toyota company. Okay, so but unfortunately he completed the module, but that module was not implemented for Toyota. But they initially they started for this MRP for Toyota company, but it was not implemented due to some reason. In the same year, the same module was updated, and again it was implemented in that company, Black and Decker. Okay, so in that company they first installed the MRP, and also they used the MRP software for their own product. Okay, Stage by stage it got increased. Okay, it was developed in day by day. In 1975, the MRP was implemented nearly 700 companies, and in later stage in 1980-81, it was reached to 8,000 plus industries. Okay, so in 1983, this MRP was linked with MRP2 software, that is manufacturing resource planning. So manufacturing resource planning, that is MRP2, is an extension software from MRP. Okay, so what some input we have taken from the MRP output, so that output is feedback to the MRP2 software. So then we can plan the resources available according to our resources, according to our capacity. We can generate our own process plan and also scheduling, route sheets, order sheets, everything. Okay, so according to the available resources we have to plan. So that is the capability of MRP2 software. So to integrate that, we need MRP software first. So this is a brief history. The same history is invented for MRP2 also. So the first stage MRP was introduced. From the MRP, the output is fed back to MRP2. Okay, in 1983, the integration was done. So after that, the industry uses both MRP and MRP2. In later stage, in 1990, just-in-time was introduced along with MRP2 software. So just-in-time now we have to reduce the error or defective material, and we have to increase the productivity, and also we have the machine utilization or the ideal time of the machining resources available should be reduced. So this is a brief history about MRP. So what are all the basic functions of this software? So the inventory control, obviously the first one is we have to control the requirement of the raw material. Okay, so that is called as inventory control. And bill of material processing, for a particular component what will be the materials required, components required. Okay, so the details about the components for a particular operations or manufacturing process, so that is called as a bill of material. According to the bill of material only you can calculate the materials that are required. So for MRP, the main important input is BOM, that is called as bill of material, and scheduling. So based on the available resources, okay, materials and also process, so you have to prepare one schedule. So based on that only the materials requirement you can calculate. Okay, so suppose you have 1,000 components in order, per day you can create a 50 component or 60 component. So that 60 component, to manufacture that 60 component, what will be the schedule? According to that schedule only you can procure the raw material. Okay, suppose if you have the capacity or if you have the facilities for 200 component, so for 200 component per day you have to schedule for the raw material. Okay, for 50 component per day or 200 component per day, so how much material is required? So based on the schedule available you can decide how much material we need to buy. So that it depends on the scheduling process also. Elementary schedule, no, so we have to create some temporary scheduling process. So approximate scheduling, by using that you have to create or you have to generate the material requirement, then you have to use it for MRP software. Okay, and the last one is maintain low inventory level. So in a storage, suppose the component raw material for another 3 days or 4 days we can keep it in the storage. Okay, it is not necessary to keep all the raw materials for another 15 days or 20 days, unless if it is not required or if it is not easily accessible through buying. Okay, so that is called as that is the main objectives of maintaining low inventory level. We have to keep some amount of raw material in our storage. If any accidental reasons of any emergency reasons, if the raw material is not comes today, we can utilize the component that are available in that storage. Okay, so that for that purpose we need to keep some low level of inventory. Okay, and also the manufacturing planning for manufacturing process, purchasing, and also delivery activities. According to the MRP output, you have to schedule everything. You have to plan the manufacturing process, when you have to deliver this to customer, and also when you have to start the purchasing equipments. So these three activities will be carried out by using MRP2 software. For that MRP2 software, you need a detailed process plan or scheduling everything. So that will be obtained by using this MRP software. So these are all these some basic functions. So we summarize the MRP, what it focuses, what items we need, that is raw material requirement, that is called as inventory management, how many are required. Okay, so to meet out the another 4-day or 5-day requirement. Okay, suppose if we start the process today, the material will be reaching us for another 3 days, so we should be having to accommodate the 4 days, we need to keep some material. Okay, so 4 or 5 days material should be available in buffer or in our storage. So how many are required, and also what items are required, and when they are required. Okay, suppose it takes 1 week process, we have to start our process a week before. Okay, or 10 days before we have to initialize the operations. And also if it comes after 20 days or after 1 month, we need to keep some one month inventory in our storage, and we have to start the process a month before. So these are all the basic schedule we have to follow to prepare that MRP in detail. Okay, so this MRP focuses these 3 items. Okay, so what are all the inputs to the MRP system? So these 3 inputs we need to give. So master production schedule in the sense how much we have to produce, what are all the components requirement, that is scheduling date. Okay, we get the order today, we need to give it to the customer within 2 days or 3 days. So before that we have to schedule, okay, to complete the entire process. So according to that schedule only you can get you can plan for MRP, that is material requirement. And also product structure records, that is called as bill of materials. Okay, so how many materials required, how many materials to manufacture all the component, okay, to manufacture that particular items, that gives that will be given by the product structure records, that is called as bill of material. So based on that also you need to calculate MRP. So that is also another important input. So the third one, in inventory status. So how much material is available, by using that how many days we can accommodate, and when we have to start the process, how much we have to procure according to the demand level, according to the items that will be reached by us. So it depends on the process. Okay, so these 3 are the major inputs. So that is discussed in detail here. What is mean by master production schedule? According to the demand of the item you have to prepare a schedule, or according to the schedule you have to start the process. Okay, so the MPS, that is master production schedule, will be developed based on the customer orders and also when the customer need. Okay, based on that you have to develop the MRP. Next one is a bill of material. It says how many materials should be required to produce that particular item. So each item that will be assembled together, finally a component is manufactured. Okay, so to manufacture that, how many items required? So for that each item, how many materials we need to buy? Okay, so that is called as product structure records. And inventory status, it contains status of all items, how many items available. Suppose if it is a different material, different items, how many is available in our hand, how when we have to start the purchase orders. Okay, so this is the inventory status records. So this is a flow chart of MRP. For MRP requirement, that is material requirement planning, we need 3 important inputs, that is production schedule, master production schedule, and inventory status record, that is the bill of material. That side product structure records. So by using these three major inputs, material requirement planning produce a detailed plan. Okay, this is a planned order releases and also release work order. Okay, according to the work order, according to the plan, it will give a detailed report. Okay, it generates some route sheet. Okay, so based on that, suppose if you want to manufacture 50 component, how the process should be carried out. Suppose if you want to manufacture 100 component, how it should be carried out. So based on that, the route sheet will be produced. So the route sheet will be the output of this MRP software. Okay, so it calculates the capacity available. So for 50 component, how much capacity? So that will be calculated by using this capacity requirement planning. Okay, for 100 component, how much capacity you need? Suppose if it is a 50 component, you have the available resources. By using that, you can manufacture that 50 components. Suppose if it is a 100 component, you don't have that much resources. What you have to do? You have to start, or you have to purchase a new machine, or you have to find vendor to complete that entire component. Then you have to mix together and you have to supply it to customers. Okay, so that you have to plan. So initially 3 inputs are given. So based on that, the material requirement plan will be generated, and the plan will refer the capacity requirement planning, that is CRP. The capacity requirement plan, it checks is whether the your plant is capable of producing that required demand. If it is not there, you have to purchase. If it is there, you have to produce the purchase order for material. Okay, you have for that producing purchase order, you have to refer the store or the storage buffer storage list, how much is available, how much you have to order. So everything. So finally, it prepares a scheduling, detailed scheduling sheets, that is called as a route sheets. Then the route sheets sent back to the manufacturing department. Okay, so finally, according to the schedule given to meet out the customer requirement, the product is manufactured by using this manufacturing. So finally, it will be converted as a product, then it's sent back to customer. So this is a layout of MRP, that is material requirement planning. So the MPS, what we have discussed in the previous slide, so it is given here as a flow chart. Okay, what is meant by master production schedule? So the production schedule or master production schedule is a input to that MRP software. So what it does? So it calculates the demand level. It refers that for that particular component, how much material, how much time is required, because we have some old history. By referring that, by retrieving that, all the values will be calculated. Okay, so based on that, based on the reports that are available, and also based on the reports generated from the different departments, sales, marketing, everything, the schedule, the master production schedule, according to the capacity available, according to the manpowers available, the schedule was prepared. So this is a flow chart how the material that is production schedule is produced. So this is a submodules of MPS system, that is master production schedule. This is a submodules of a capacity requirement planning, that is CRP. And it also refers what will be the planned order, what will be the sales forecast, and also what will be the sources that are available. Here schedule update and post schedule update. Is there any update required? Suppose you have a schedule for 50 component. For next day, you have to increase it to 70 so that you can meet out the customer requirement. Then the schedule should be updated. Okay, so the updated schedule every day you have to update for that particular day's process. Okay, then you have to modify it according to your capacity that are available in the plan. You have to generate the new route sheet. Okay, so this is submodules of CRP. So the major flow chart for MRP is this one. Okay, so MRP is the material requirement planning, we need three major input, that is master production schedule, bill of material and the status record. Okay, so by using these three we have to generate how much material required, when it is required, and also when you have to give the order. So based on that you have to generate a route sheet. That route sheet will be the output of the MRP system. Next one is the manufacturing resource planning, MRP II. Because why it is called as a MRP II? It is an extension version of MRP. So the input to the MRP II software is taken from the MRP. Okay, so that it is called as the MRP II, that is manufacturing resource planning. Okay, so the MRP II is a method to plan everything, not only the material, including the material requirement planning, capacity requirement planning, production schedule, final financial applications, engineering applications, everything you have to couple together from raw material to final product. How much material, how many resources, production resources should be required, how many manpower should be required, how you can coordinate all those things to make the particular component. So that comes from this manufacturing resource planning, that is MRP II software. So this is the one flow chart, gives the idea about this MRP II software. Okay, so what are all the sources that is coupled together to make this MRP II software. Okay, so here first what you have to create the materials that are requirement, that you can obtain from material requirement planning, and what are all the resources that are available, that is taken from CRP, that is capacity requirement planning, and how you can control all the resources that are available in that plant, that you can get from the soft floor control, SFC. So you have to get the relevant data from that particular control, SFC, soft floor control. Now from that particular controller you have to get the detail. CRP, from that CRP software you can get the details. Material requirement planning, from the MRP software you can get the details. All will be documented and combined, and finally the manufacturing resource planning, how you can utilize the resources that are available, so that you can calculate. So the top one is the soft floor documentations. The details taken from SFC, that will be taken there, and also material requirement planning, by using this material schedule, that will be taken. Okay, so that material requirement planning, it refers the stock, how much material available, and also it refers the master production schedule, and based on that it initiates the purchase order, and the material the status will be sent back to the process or scheduling. Okay, and it refers the bill of material, everything, and also the capacity requirement planning, how many machines available, is there any machines additionally we need to buy to meet out the requirement, or we need to increase the manpower to increase the productivity. So all details will be get from CRP software, that will be given to as a input. So finally from the MRP software, one detailed scheduling will be generated. Okay, so that is called as a schedule sheet. So by using that schedule sheet, that will be sent back to the particular manufacturing floor for manufacturing. Okay, so finally the raw material will be converted to final product as per the schedule given by the MRP II software. Okay, so that is a detailed work in process and scheduling. So that is a centralized process, we need to execute that. So for that we need lot of inputs from other departments. Okay, what are all the benefits of MRP II? So it is a better control of inventories, no wastages, no additional buying of raw materials, everything. Improved scheduling, because detailed scheduling is planned and also executed, so that the scheduling is improved than the manually done process. and also productive relationship with suppliers. If the suppliers need the component it ready, suppose they need it in 3 days, if we supply within 2 days or 2.5 days, so they would be very happy. Okay, so we can make a better relationship between ourselves to the customers. Okay, and also in design and engineering, we can if we implement that concurrent engineering process, or if you implement in a design process, we can reduce the raw material wastages. According to the design also, a lot of materials are material wastage are reduced. So improved design control. Okay, it controls over the material requirement and addition process, better quality, and also quality control. Okay, the quality assurance will be the main requirement for the customer. So that is obtained by using this software oriented module. In the financial and costing, working capital and also the total investment will be reduced, total cost of the product, cash flow is improved. Okay, because within a time it will be manufactured. So within 2 days, if you are able to complete all the production process, if it is reached to the customer, so you can get the money immediately. So that is cash flow is quicker, and also you can complete other than in the manual process. And accurate inventory record, because all are software module and also database oriented, that is DBMS system, database management system. So based on that, all the records are maintained in good level. So these are all the some benefits about MRP2 software. What are all the major modules that are available in MRP2? So manufacturing applications, engineering applications, financial applications, and marketing applications. It coordinates all these process, 4 process. Finally, it makes a detailed schedule. So what is manufacturing applications? In the manufacturing applications, what is the business plan? Okay, it starts from the sales and marketing feedback, and according to your capacity requirement planning, you have a clear business plan. Okay, so that will be generated. What you have to produce, how much you have to produce in a day, and in how many days, within how many days, how you can reach your component to your customer. Okay, so that is the business plan. The next one is the production plan. That is how you can manufacture the product, okay, without an error, and also how you can improve the productivity. So that is the production plan. So for that you need a schedule, that is master production schedule. By using a sub modules of master production schedule, what will be the raw materials available, machines available, capacity that are available, you can generate a schedule. Okay, so that is taken from MPS modules, that is master production schedule module. MRP, that is material requirement planning, that is obtained from MRP software. The CRP, that is capacity requirement planning, that is obtained from CRP software. And SFC, that is soft floor control, you have all the facilities, materials, manpower, everything, how you can control, how you can utilize. So based on that only you can complete all the product and also process. So that is SFC, soft floor control. Finally, you have to manage the inventory that is available, resources available, material, raw materials available, and also the machine, tools, everything, how you can utilize the machines fully. So that is the inventory management. Finally, according to the detailed schedule, you have to start the purchase order. Purchase order for procuring material, purchase order for procuring the new machines if the demand is high, then recruitment of the manpower, to increase the manpower if it is required to meet out the demand. So these are all the manufacturing applications. The shop floor control, how the shop floor control is obtained. So this is one software flow diagram, how the software shop floor control is obtained here. So that is given. Okay, so this is a flow chart for this. In engineering applications, according to these output, that is MPS, CRP, MRP, and also SFC, you have to generate, okay, one scheduling. So for that you need a bill of material and standard production routing, and also job costing, and also standard job costing. Okay, so you have to reduce the manufacturing cost also. Okay, so that you can get the profit from the product that you have manufactured. Okay, so everything you have to calculate the according to the bill of material required to complete that process, and also for that from that materials available, how you can complete or how you can make the final product with less number of operations and also without any defects. Okay, so that is called as by implementing the standard product routing. Okay, so that we can reduce the time travel, and also to reduce the process time, and also increase the productivity, and also you have to reduce the cost of the product. So that is called as a job costing. Okay, so this MRP II was taken from our book CAD/CAM Sim by Dr. Radhakrishnan, that you know that you have the soft copy. Okay, and some of the materials taken from some other book. Okay, these are all the references for MRP and MRP II software. And in the financial applications, finally you have to generate the accounts payable to the customer, accounts receivable from the customer, and also you have to maintain the total accounts in a ledger, that is a general ledgers that are available. And also marketing, you have a product, you have to plan your product in the market. You have to use some marketing strategies to improve your sales. Okay, suppose you are manufacturing some generalized component, it can be required for all other industry, so you have a better marketing strategy. Okay, you have to follow that. So according to these four categories, all will be controlled by using this manufacturing resource planning. The report from marketing from sales department, okay, and also the report from the finance department, financial applications, and also the engineering and manufacturing applications which is generated from the software module. By combining together, the manufacturing resource planning will generate one detailed scheduling. So based on that scheduling, the route sheet and also the scheduled for each machine, scheduled for each day will be given to that particular control, particular shop floor. Then the final product will be manufactured. Okay. So this is the brief introduction about MRP and also MRP II software. Any doubts you have? Thank you. And